Welcome to NFL Imperialism. You may have seen this concept floating around YouTube, but I wanted to put my own spin on it and hopefully improve it. Before we get started, I humbly ask that you take a moment to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button. This is going to be a series, and this channel has some other videos as well, sports related, entertainment related. We do a lot here, trying to grow the audience. We appreciate the fact that you're here right now. We ask that you continue to stay with us. Please subscribe to the channel. Thank you. If you're interested in a full, thorough breakdown of how this imperialism works, please check out the first 3 minutes or so of the 1966 video, which is linked in the description below. Otherwise, we are ready to start. Today, we're going to be diving into the year 1970, which is a huge year in NFL history, as it's the year the NFL and the AFL officially merged into one unit just known now as the NFL. Super Bowl V was the first ever matchup between the AFC and NFC champion. The NFC champion were the Dallas Cowboys. The AFC champion were one of the NFL imports. The Steelers, the Browns, and the Colts all switched from the NFL to the AFC. And despite being stronger in previous seasons, the Colts were able to come through and win this Super Bowl. The effects of the merger can be seen here clearly in these rankings. The entire top 5 is made up of NFC teams. Interestingly enough, the Colts, who won the Super Bowl, aren't on the top 5, and the Cowboys are only 4th. There were some upsets in the playoffs that year. It's fun to see the Lions at number 2. Can they come up and win imperialism? Let's find out. Our first spin of the wheel is going to give us our number 1 ranked team of 1970, the Vikings. The arrow is going to take them southeast. That's going to match them up with the Green Bay Packers, an empire who is starting to crumble. Let's see how this game goes. Minnesota's defense is just too tough for anybody, especially a struggling team like Green Bay. Here it is late in the first. Minnesota leads 3-0. That's Gene Washington streaking down into the end zone for the touchdown. That makes it 9-0 with the extra point pending. Sad to say, Green Bay does not get on the board in this game. Your final score is 23-0. The Vikings had 7 sacks in this game, completely controlled it. They will take over Green Bay's land in Wisconsin, and we are now getting ready for our second matchup. There goes the wheel, and it's going to be landing on the impending empire. They're not there yet, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Arrow's going to be taking them just about north, slightly northeast, right in to the territory of the Buffalo Bills. Let's get you that game. We got a tie game in the fourth quarter late. Buffalo is going to kick a field goal. It's a little iffy, but he gets it through. They take a 24-21 lead. After a short return, Pittsburgh audibles after Buffalo audibles. Buffalo's going to break through the line and get a safety. Wow, what a big play that is from Waddy Harvey. Buffalo tacks on a field goal, wins the game 29-21, defends its territory. The Pittsburgh Steelers tried to break through, they couldn't do it. Buffalo will now take Western Pennsylvania, and the Steelers are off the map. Next up on the big wheel, we get the number 2 team in our countdown, the Lions. They go slightly southeast. We need a little extra superimposement here. That arrow is just going to catch the northeast corner of Indiana. So the Lions won't have to play. They get to take control of Indiana and expand their territory. And back to the wheel we go. This is going to go right past Dallas to the Baltimore Colts. Wheel spins, takes us slightly northwest. That's going to be right into the Philadelphia Eagles territory. Now the Eagles are trying to hang tight in this game. It's late in the first quarter. They're forcing a Colts punt. They almost block it. And we got return man Fred Hill making some moves. Oh, but he gets hit and he fumbles. And the Colts will pick it up. And it looks like they're going to run it back in for the touchdown. No one's going to catch him. That is running back Jerry Hill playing special teams. That opens the scoring at 6-0. And this is going to qualify as a game-winning touchdown. Your final score of this game was 43-0. Baltimore really took over in the second half. Philly never got going. We got our second shutout in Imperialism 1970. With how tightly compact everything is in the Northeast, the Colts aren't going to pick up a lot of land, but the defending champions will take the Eagles off the map and expand their territory. We are back on the wheel, and it looks like we're going to be going right past the Jets into the Midwest. That's the Cleveland Browns. The arrow will point them slightly to the southeast. That's definitely going right into the Cincinnati Bengals territory. We are about to have the Battle of Ohio. The Bengals tried to hold on in this one. They're pretty much down here late in the fourth. A pitch to Leroy Kelly. He gets the edge, spins around, breaks a tackle, tiptoes down the sideline into the end zone. Any chance the Bengals had of winning this one is now over. This makes the score 36-13 pending the extra point. 37-13 was the final. Leroy Kelly dominated the game. 160 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. That means it's going back to the way it was before the Bengals hit the NFL. The Cleveland Browns will take over their land and own the entire state of Ohio. We're getting a spin of the wheel here, and it's going to be going to the Cowboys. The arrow will take us east, slightly northeast, into Oklahoma. So the Cowboys are going to take over that territory and expand their land. Let's try the wheel again, see if it gives us a game. It's going to scoot past the Falcons into the Rams. Arrow will take us north, slightly northwest. That's going to give us the Rams going to Oakland to face the Raiders. A mostly back and forth game here. The Rams lead by 3 in the fourth. Roman Gabriel drops back, hits running back Charlie Smith, drags a dude into the end zone for the touchdown. That's going to give the Rams a 9-point lead. It's going to be a 10-point lead after the extra point. The Raiders are coming back. Time is running out from the 10-yard line. 3rd and 4. Darryl LaMonica finds Marv Hubbard off the bench for the touchdown. That's going to bring the Raiders to within 4. The extra point would make it a 3-point game. They would need to get the onside kick. And it looks like the Raiders are actually going to go for 2. Try to get this within 2, maybe win it with a field goal. Let's see what they do here. Still only 10 seconds left. LaMonica will drop back, roll left, and get it to Hubbard again. Nice diving catch. Just came off the bench, folks, and he has 8 points in the game. Here is the onside kick. Bouncing around. They might have a chance. Nope, the Rams get it. 28-26 is going to be your final score. The Raiders go into Oakland and win this one. For the purposes of our map, the Rams have taken over Central California, knocking the Raiders out of 1970 imperialism. Back to the wheel we go. Round and round it goes, and the Broncos are getting called into action faster than they want to. The wheel is going to take them east. They're almost going to hit Dallas, but in reality they're going to take Kansas, and they're going to expand their territory. They are really not isolated anymore. Our pattern's been 1 expansion and then 1 game. Let's see if that's going to continue. The wheel chooses the Buffalo Bills. The arrow's going to take them to the southeast, directly into the Colts territory. The 2 teams that jointly took over Pennsylvania are now going to battle it out. It's been a tight game. The Bills actually lead here late in the 3rd. Jerry Hill will punch it into the end zone for the touchdown. That's going to tie the game at 13. The extra point's going to make it 14-13. Buffalo's got a chance very late, very deep, down at their own 9-yard line. That's Billy Ray Smith, defensive tackle extraordinaire, breaking through the line, getting the sack. Buffalo's really in it deep now, barely off the goal line, and a pitch to the fullback's really not going to get the job done. One more chance, I guess, and they're going to pitch to the fullback again. I guess they're conceding this game. The clock will expire here. The Super Bowl champions, Colts, just barely hold on. 14-13. With victory over Buffalo, the Colts will now own the entirety of New York and Pennsylvania in addition to Maryland. Where are we going to be going next? It looks like we're just going to miss hitting the Broncos again. The Cardinals are up. They are going directly east. That is going to take them into Illinois, specifically Chicago, to face the Bears. The Bears are playing it close in the third quarter. The Cardinals are on the 30-yard line. They hand off to MacArthur Lane, breaks through the line, breaks another tackle, spins his way into the end zone. MacArthur Lane had that one really good year in the NFL. This was it. Puts them up 20-10, 21-10 with the extra point. Add another touchdown at the end. The Cardinals win the game 28-17. St. Louis, the gateway to the west, now crosses over into the east, taking over the state of Illinois. The Wheel's been giving us a bunch of games lately. Let's see what it's got in store for us now. That's going to go into the Saints. New Orleans will be traveling southwest. That's just going to go ahead and clip the area of the Houston Oilers. That's going to be our next matchup. The Oilers came out firing, going for the bombs away, all or nothing approach. That's a deep touchdown to open up the scoring. Here they're going to try it again. Get it downfield. Inside the 20. Inside the 10. Got him down. They got the touchdown anyway. Charlie Joyner getting the deep ball down the sideline. That's 53 yards. That turned into a field goal. Even when it wasn't necessarily working out for him. This deep pass here late in the game when they're already winning. Yeah, turned around and fumbled it. The Saints never got on the right foot on this game. The Oilers took control, a 24-0 shutout. The state of Texas may still be split in two, but both teams are making moves. The Oilers go east and capture the state of Louisiana. Will we stay on this continuous run of games? This one is really close. It's just going to stay inside with the Giants. Pretty much anywhere this goes almost will be the Colts, and that's going to turn out to be the case. The Giants are traveling to Baltimore to play the Super Bowl V champions. The Colts have had their chances to put this one away, but the Giants are hanging on. That's Fran Tarkenton firing across the middle. Rookie tight end Bob Tucker could take it. He is inside the 20, tackled down at about the 16. 37-yard gain. Couple of plays later, they're at the 3. The handoff goes to Tucker Frederickson. He bulldozes his way into the end zone. That's going to make it 17-16. The extra point will tie it at 17. The Colts have the ball now. They're going to try to get into field goal range. Johnny Unitas drops back, fires to Jerry Hill. Breaks down past the 50-yard line. He fumbles. Oh my goodness, the Giants pick it up. Returning it, might take it to field goal range. He keeps going. He is inside the 30-yard line. So the Giants are going to have a chance to steal this game. They are in field goal range. Pete Gogolak's their kicker. They're going to try to get some more yards. Tarkenton back to pass. Holds it, fires. Gerald McNeil makes the catch, goes down right at the 14-yard line. And it looks like the Giants are not going to waste any time. They're bringing Gogolak out for the kick. This will be 32 yards. Snap good, hold good. Kick is good. Bangs it off the upright. That's our final score. The Giants go into Baltimore and win 20-17, eliminating the Super Bowl champions of 1970. Road teams are now 7-2 in 1970 Imperialism. The Giants win and pick up a big chunk of land from the Colts. You imagine we're going to see some expansion here out of the Wheel pretty soon. The Giants up again. The arrow will take them northeast. That's going to go into Vermont. So they're going to expand their territory just a little bit further. Will we get 3 in a row for the Giants? Nope, it passed them by. It goes and grabs the Chargers. Sunny Southern California. They're going to go southeast east, that's just enough to get into Arizona, so the Chargers expand out to the east. Back-to-back expansion, will we see any more? This now goes to the Vikings, defending Imperialism champions. It goes slightly west-northwest. That's going to get them into North Dakota, making them just a wee bit bigger. We did get a few games in a row. I guess expansion is in order right now. Oh, we almost got Minnesota again. It went into the Oilers. The arrow is going to take them north-northeast, directly into the state of Arkansas. The Texas teams keep getting bigger. I don't know about y'all, but I'm ready for a game here. Let's see what the wheel wants to give us. It'll give us the Browns. The arrow spin will take it west, slightly southwest, but not south enough to avoid the state of Indiana, which is under the control of the Detroit Lions. We've got ourselves a game. The Lions came to play today. Defense and special teams was all over it. This is linebacker Mike Lucci forcing a fumble on a kickoff. Lions pick it up, advance it just a little bit further. And then superstar fullback Altie Taylor, check out this run. Takes the corner, uses his speed, then uses his power, just bulldozes that guy, spin move, trucks his way into the end zone. The Browns scored a late touchdown. The Lions owned this game. Final score, 27-7. The home teams make a little bit of a comeback. The Lions are as big a threat as anybody to win this Imperialism. They take out Cleveland, and in doing so, pick up the entire state of Ohio. It's back to the wheel we go. It's going to pick out the Atlanta Falcons. They're either going to play the Dolphins or they're going to expand. It's going just about west. That's expansion. The Falcons now own Georgia and Alabama. Take two on the wheel for this round. It is going to land on the Giants. The wheel likes the Giants today. The arrow's going to take them west. Now check this out. That officially points into Canada. But as it crosses through, it hits the Lions' territory. And because at the moment the Giants and the Lions share a border, this is going to be a game. Once again, the Lions dominate at home after a kind of slow start in the first half. They did it with their defense and their running game again. This is Mel Farr, the run that put him over 100 yards for the day. As a team, the Lions rushed for 200 yards. They win the game 31-10. And they now have a giant swath of land going from the Midwest to the Northeast. Time for another spin of the wheel. It's going to just get by the Rams and land on the Dolphins. We have no need to spin the arrow. They are surrounded by the Falcons, and we're getting treated to yet another Dolphins-Falcons matchup in Imperialism. The Dolphins are on the cusp of their dynasty here, and they really came to play today. This pass is picked off by Lloyd Mumford, an interception adding to his previous 2 sacks during the game. Miami had no problem with this one, a 35-3 stomping. Obviously they keep the state of Florida here, but they also pick up Georgia and Alabama, and for now are in isolation. Our next game will get us down to half the teams remaining. The Denver Broncos land on the wheel. The arrow will take them south. That will take them into Texas, North Texas anyway, where they will face the Dallas Cowboys. And I'm very sorry to say that the footage of this game got corrupted and therefore lost. The Cowboys did win the game 27-10, which is funny because in Super Bowl 12, that's the exact score that the Cowboys beat the Broncos by. With the victory, the Cowboys now take over Colorado and Kansas and seem to have a pretty good foothold on the center of the country. 13 down, 13 to go. Who is the next team out? The wheel chooses the 49ers. The arrow sends them slightly to the northwest. That's going to be enough to catch the state of Oregon. The 49ers have expanded their territory. Let's see if the wheel wants to give us a game this time. It looks like the Chiefs, nope, snuck into the Chargers. The arrow takes them southeast. That will clip the state of New Mexico. That will give the Chargers the American Southwest. Let's see what the wheel has in store next. That will give us the Miami Dolphins. That's a guaranteed expansion. They are in isolation right now. They'll go slightly to the northwest. That's going to line them up with Alabama, which would give them the Deep South. Alright, let's see what's in store now. Miami again, maybe? Nope, it's going to creep into Minnesota. The arrow goes southwest. That's clearly going into South Dakota. The Vikings just keep getting bigger in the Great White North. I promise we're going to get a game in here sooner or later. Hopefully this is the one. The Oilers, the way they're set up, they're almost guaranteed to play somebody. The arrow's going north. That's going to hit the Chiefs. That'll set up an interesting matchup. Well, it's been a field goal fest, folks. It's 6-6 in the fourth quarter. The Oilers line up for a 38-yarder and they nail it. A 9-6 lead. When I say field goal fest, I mean attempts, not just makes. Each team also missed 2 field goals. One bad thing about this Tecmo game, the AI kicking is pretty poor. Well, the Chiefs are going to take this kickoff back. Let's see what they can do. They promptly fumble it. And the Oilers are going to pick it up, and man, we might get a touchdown in this game. Running it back to about the 11. He looks like he's going to get stopped there. No, he breaks free. Oh, they get him down at the 3. We're going to have to settle for the 9-6 final. What a game, huh? After a period of simple expansion, the Oilers actually pick up some land with a victory. Not a lot of land, but they eliminate the, in real life, defending Super Bowl champion Chiefs. Time for a little wheel therapy once again. That's going to stay on the Dolphins. The arrow will take them south-southwest. That's gonna hit the edge of Louisiana there. That's gonna be Dolphins at the Oilers. The Oilers have had a good run to this point, but it looks like it's coming to an end. Miami's just a bit too much. That's Nick Buonaconti with the strip sack. Scooped up by defensive lineman Bob Hines. They're not going to catch him. Miami's got the running game with Kick and Zonka. They've added Paul Warfield. They have the passing game. They took complete control of this one. Put the game away without much of a problem. A 28-3 final score. The Dolphins now own the entire Gulf Coast. And they've slipped into the Midwest some as well. They're a force to be reckoned with. We're getting closer and closer to the end here. The wheel's going to give us the Patriots and their cheat code location. Let's see how the arrow's going to take them. It's going to go southeast, and take a look at that. The Patriots are going to make the smallest expansion possible as they grab the state of Rhode Island. The wheel just took us to the east. This time it looks like we're going to head west. That's going to be the Chargers. The arrow has them going to the northwest. That's going to place them right into Utah. The Chargers territory gets a little bigger. Back-to-back wheel spins, and looks like it's going to be back-to-back Charger selections. They are building an empire without having played a game, and that's going to continue. That's going west, and now they grab the state of Nevada. What a bunch of territory the Chargers have picked up again without having played a game. Could the wheel give us 3 consecutive Charger spins? Nope, not happening. It's going over to the Jets, and it's very likely they're going to play the Lions here. There's a chance they can expand. Nope. They are heading directly into the heart of the Lion territory. Let's go. The Lions are certainly following a pattern of keeping games close in the first half before pulling away in the second. They do the same thing here against the Jets. That's Alty Taylor out there proving his value as a receiver, hauling in that touchdown pass from Bill Munson. The Lions take a solid lead late into the game. The Jets here tack on a late touchdown. That's Don Maynard, an all-time great wide receiver, always been underrated. The Lions have no problem holding on to the overall victory in this game, though. The touchdown made it a little closer, but 28-13 is your final score. The Lions don't gain much as it pertains to land, but they do knock another team off the map. We're down to the final 10 teams. The wheel will give us the St. Louis Cardinals. The arrow is going to take them slightly southwest. That's going to hit the Miami Dolphins territory. This should be a good game. And a good game it was. The Dolphins entered the fourth quarter with a 1-point lead. And they were able to extend that. This is Jim Kick getting around the edge for the touchdown. 15 yards, giving the Dolphins the lead and the eventual victory. That made it 33-21. Final score 34-21. Tough loss there for the Cardinals. They brought a great team into 1970, but the Dolphins proved a little too much at home. They take the win, and they take the Cardinals' territory there in the Midwest. We're about to reach what is essentially the quarterfinals. The wheel gives us the Los Angeles Rams. They point straight north, and that's just going to miss that corner edge there of Nevada. So that's going to send the Rams into play the 49ers. The 49ers enter the fourth quarter losing 20-7 after scoring first. John Brody drops back, hits Dick Witcher. That's going to be a touchdown. That's going to close the gap some. John Brody with the pass, 31 yards. It's 20-13, 20-14 after the extra point. But from the 24-yard line, the Rams hand it off. That's running back Larry Smith finds the edge. I don't know where the defense is on that one. The Rams extend their lead with this touchdown. They're going to put the game away. That was 24 yards. 27-20 is the final score. The Rams take the win. They take away the rest of Northern California, and with it the state of Oregon. Those slots on the wheel continue to get bigger and bigger, and this one looks like it might creep into the Redskins. It does. The first time they've been called on. They're going to have to go north. That's going right into the Detroit Lions territory. The Lions get called up again. The Redskins are up for the first time. Let's see what happens. After some back and forth touchdowns, the Lions take a 14-7 lead, get a stop, and get the ball back. That's Mel Farr around the edge. That's a nice gain. He's going to get past midfield. He drags a tackler. He spins a tackler. He puts on the Jets, and they don't get him. Wow. That is an amazing run. That is 76 yards for Mel Farr. The Lions are shedding their label as a second-half team only in this Imperialism. They did it all through the game here. 41-10 final score. Once again, the Lions win a game and don't pick up a whole lot of land, just a little federal enclave that is Washington, D.C., but they do knock another team out of Imperialism. Only the Chargers have not played and the Patriots have not been called on at all, but the wheel chooses the Cowboys. The arrow is going to take them north, slightly northeast. That's going to grab the state of Nebraska, and Dallas's territory gets just a little bigger. Up next for us on the wheel is going to be, looks like the Cowboys again. Chances are they're going to have to play somebody here. That's south, slightly southeast. That's going right in to the Dolphins territory. Here comes a great matchup. The Cowboys took a 10-7 lead into the half, a lead they still hold here in the fourth quarter. The Dolphins in Cowboy territory, Bob Greasy down the sideline. That's Howard Twilley. The Cowboys are able to stop him at the 2. The Dolphins definitely in field goal range, but they're probably going to win 7 here. Very next play, the handoff to Jim Kick, easy touchdown. The Dolphins at home in the fourth quarter have taken the lead with the extra point. That's going to be 14-10. The Cowboys, though, aren't quite done. 2nd and 2, under 30 seconds left from the Dolphin 33. Craig Morton fires a Pettis Norman. That's incomplete. Might have one more chance here. That is play action. Lance Rensel looks open. It's overthrown and intercepted. Wow, what a play at the end to preserve the win. That is Tim Foley for the Miami Dolphins. Low scoring game, but highly entertaining. Miami wins 14-10. They take all of Dallas's territory and now without question have the most amount of land in 1970 Imperialism. We're back to the wheel, and I made a mistake earlier when I said the Patriots hadn't been called on. They had. They did a very small expansion in the Rhode Island. They get called on again, and they're going to be doing another small expansion. They're going to be going into Connecticut. I guess now we know why they changed their name from the Boston Patriots to the New England Patriots after this season. Let's give this thing another whirl. Out of the 6 teams remaining, it lands on the Miami Dolphins. The arrow is going to take them east, slightly southeast. Wow, look at that. We need a closer look. That arrow is actually hitting the southernmost tip of South Carolina. Couldn't have seen that coming, but somehow that's going to be an expansion into that state for the Dolphins. Here comes another spin. Can we get a third different team in 3? We can. That's on the Minnesota Vikings. And the arrow is going west, slightly southwest. That is going to hit the Miami Dolphins territory. This could be a great game. Instead, it wound up being a great display. This Minnesota Viking team cannot be forgotten about. That is an interception by Ed Shirachman. Spoiler alert, he's running it all the way back for a touchdown. As impressive as the Miami Dolphins and the Detroit Lions have been, it's the Minnesota Vikings that are still the favorites. They are the defending Imperialism champion. They were the #1 ranked team coming into 1970 Imperialism. This only put them up 14-7, but that final score tells you everything you need to know. 34-7, the Vikings trounced the Dolphins, ending their great run. And now the Vikings will take over the biggest piece of land to give themselves the biggest piece of land. This next round is going to get us down to our final 4. The wheel will land on the Chargers. And let's see where the arrow wants to take them. West, slightly southwest. Normally that would go into the ocean. But here now they're going to face the Rams for the rights to the West Coast. Not much of a game here. At the 2-minute warning, the Rams already lead by 15. Roman Gabriel is going to fire a shot into the end zone. That's Wendell Tucker. That is his 2nd touchdown catch. Gabriel's 4th touchdown pass of the game. The extra point makes it 36-14. That is your final score. The Rams really took care of business in the 3rd quarter. The Chargers actually led at halftime. Now the Chargers are off the map. The Rams take over their territory and basically own the West Coast. We're down to the final 4. One of these teams is going to win Imperialism. The wheel picks the Patriots. Let's see if we can actually get these guys on the field. Nope. They're going to grab that little piece, New Hampshire there. And the Patriots continue to not have to play and remain in Imperialism. Back to the wheel we go. This is going to get past the Rams into the Vikings. The arrow takes them west. We need a close-up look. And as you can see, that leaves the center of the Vikings logo. Misses Wyoming, hits Utah. That is Rams territory. We're about to get this game right now. This Vikings defense is just too much. In this game alone, 7 sacks, 4 interceptions. Here's one of them by Carl Kasulke. 2 touchdowns. This is going to be one of them by Carl Kasulke. If you don't have an exceptional offensive line, I don't see how anyone's going to beat this team. This particular interception put the Vikings up 21-6. The final score is 41-6, and it's Minnesota's game, y'all. The Lions and the Patriots stand in their way. Until that time, they're heavy favorites to repeat as Imperialism champions. We're down to the last 3 here. The wheel's gonna pick the Patriots. They might be able to expand. Maine is sitting right there, but they're finally gonna be forced to get on the field. They're gonna play at Detroit. That will send Minnesota into the championship game. Let's get to this game first, though. Nothing to see here, folks. The Patriots get slammed. I'm surprised they actually scored a touchdown. They turned the ball over 8 times. The Lions handled their business no problem. That'll finally get the Patriots off the map. And now we have our championship game, which is between the top 2 seeds from our rankings at the beginning of the video. The Vikings are going to play the Lions. We're just going to spin the wheel here to see who gets the home field advantage. And the wheel lands on the Vikings, which means they're going to be traveling to Detroit. That might make for a better game. The Lions will definitely have a chance here. Let's see who wins 1970 Imperialism. The teams exchange field goals with the Lions now in the red zone. Bill Munson hands to Altie Taylor, who's been a monster for the Lions this entire Imperialism. He takes it in for a 14-yard touchdown. The home crowd certainly goes wild here. The Lions lead 10-3, but this Viking defense. Carl Eller causes the pressure, forces the quick throw. It's intercepted by linebacker Mike McGill, who was in the game for an injured Wally Hilgenberg. These guys are just getting pick sixes from linebackers off the bench. After an earlier field goal, that now gives Minnesota the lead. They have the ball at their own 5-yard line. Gary Cuozzo back to pass, steps up, finds Gene Washington. He crosses midfield, gets to about the 40. What a play, 55 yards. A couple of plays later, Cuozzo drifts back, finds his other wide receiver, that's John Henderson, for the touchdown. It was a fait accompli in a lot of ways here. This Viking defense is too good. Top to bottom, Carl Eller was the star of the show today. The Vikings win 23-10, and the team notorious for not being able to win a Super Bowl has won 1969 and 1970 Imperialism in back-to-back seasons. The purple that covers the United States from sea to shining sea has not faded. For only the second time in our 5 Imperialism videos, the Super Bowl champion and the Super Bowl runner-up did not appear in the Imperialism Championship game. The Colts and Cowboys couldn't quite get the job done, and as we know, Imperialism 5 was won here by the Vikings. It is heartening to see the Lions having made it to the championship game and played as well as they did, but they have to accept the position here of runners-up. For the second straight year, let's take a look at this incredible Vikings roster. Not much has changed on the offense outside of the obvious Joe Cap replaced by Gary Cuozzo at quarterback. And looking at the defense, it's the same murderer's row of ridiculous talent. It's really no surprise to see that the Vikings repeated here. Looking at scores from 1970, we see that row teams did do a lot of damage. Also, interestingly enough, across all games, only 6 of them were decided by 1 score or less. So 1970 did not see a whole lot of drama as far as super close games go. Records from 1970 show that the Lions indeed did win the most games at 5, and the Dolphins matched the Vikings' total of 4. Of course, the Vikings never took a loss, and they are taking their spot at the top of these standings. They will also be taking their spot at the top of the overall standings. Winning back-to-back Imperialism is going to give you a lot of wins. So they are 12-3 now. They're listed ahead of the Cowboys because the Cowboys are 12-4. We still await our first ever victory from the Falcons and Broncos over 5 attempts, and the Bengals over just 3 attempts. We're 5 in, everybody. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you've already liked it, and I hope you've already shared it. But if you have not, please take the time to do so. And again, I'm a broken record, I get it, but please, if you can, subscribe to this channel and hit that notification button. We're really doing everything we can to get bigger, to grow, and to reach a bigger audience. Be on the lookout in the next few days for the 1971 version of Imperialism. If you're watching this at a later date, all completed Imperialism videos to this point are linked in the description below. Let's give this map one last look before we head out for the day. The Vikings' reign has continued. Can they possibly make it 3 in a row? Make sure to check out 1971 to find out. Thank you all, everybody, and have an awesome day.